Hey, what's going on, everybody? Sorry for the late delay here. Trying to figure out how to do these lives here on YouTube, and yeah, sorry for that, guys. Let me get out my ear here, set you guys up. How's everyone doing today, by the way? Yeah, this is gonna be. I'll figure this out here. No worries, right? Going live. Technical difficulties, inevitable when doing dealing with technology here. Here, let me put this over here. Slide this over. Hey, what's going on? Welcome, welcome, everybody in the chat. I'm using my cell phone, as you all can probably tell. I had it, I had it set up for my computer, but for whatever reason, it's not connecting properly to my computer. I don't know if you guys can hear me. Let me know in the chat if you guys can hear me. Okay, we'll put these up right quick. Yeah, we'll figure this out. My next live, I'll have it more prepared, I guess, just to say. There's your face. Yep, appreciate it. We can hear you. Awesome, awesome. Yeah, I don't know what's going on my computer. Just like I said, I've never went live on YouTube before, um, and I thought it was gonna be like super easy, right? It's just gonna go on YouTube once it was ready to go live, and you go on your, your YouTube account and whatnot, and get it started. But no, it is not that easy apparently. So we'll try to figure it out as I go through. For everyone that's in the chat now, if you guys want, like I said, this is going to be kind of a watch along. So if you guys have the HBO Go app or the HBO Now app, or you have HBO The Outsider on your DVR, what have you, let me know whatever you guys have. But I am starting on 2 seconds in, so I already saw the Westworld preview. Already saw last week's preview, or kind of the continuation into this episode. So if you guys want to, go ahead and load up your HBO apps. Like I said, HBO Now, HBO Go. We have it over your DVR and put it on 2 seconds, and then we'll go ahead and start the watch along. So we can kind of talk about the episode, discuss all the stuff that went down. Obviously, we'll talk about that post-credit scene that I've been reading the chats, guys. I've been reading the awesome comments that everyone's left on my review that I did on Sunday. And I'm a big fan of this show, so I'm in a lot of different other groups. That have talked about their theories and their projections and their speculations and all that stuff. So this is, hold on, let me switch this over here. See if this is better. A little bit, slightly, not really. Trying to lean, there we go. A little bit better. Hold on 1 second, guys. Try to, hold on 1 second. Man, is this a little bit better? Yeah, we'll do it this way. Move this out of the way here. Orientation is locked. Rotate the face back. Okay. So I guess we'll have to go this way. I'm sorry about that. So yeah, I am, like I said, 2 seconds in. If you guys want to go ahead and load up the your apps on HBO, and we'll go ahead and get this started. I'll figure this stuff out later. We just go ahead and go to the chat so I can read you guys' comments while we start this bad boy. Like I said, I hope you guys can hear me okay, because I had it set up on my computer and everything, and yeah, for whatever reason, it's not working. So I'm going to be using my phone. Sorry for the bad lighting and for the weird angle on my cell phone here. I had a cell phone placer, but this one's just going to have to do for now. So what's going on, everybody? Michael, Russell, what's going on here? Let me see who's all in the chat. Let me go on YouTube right quick. We got Crystal Roberts, what's going on? My main man, Jerry O'Brien, who has the awesome content. He shares a lot of information with me on The Outsider and the book and all that stuff. So what's going on, Jerry? Glad you were able to join tonight. We got Amanda. We got Sharon, or Shannon. Sorry about that. We got Karen. What's going on? Yeah, I know, Karen. I'm late. I'm sorry about that. Had some technical difficulties going live for the first time on YouTube. For whatever reason, it wasn't opening up properly on my computer, so I have to use my cell phone. So apologies for the weird angle, the bad lighting, and hopefully the audio quality isn't that bad. So for all those that are kind of joining in, like I said, I will be doing a watch along. So if you have HBO app, go ahead and load it up. We'll be starting the watch along here in just a little bit. Right now, I am currently on 2 seconds, so I'm going to be pressing play here in the next 2 or 3 minutes to get the episode going. We can kind of talk about it, watch it, discuss it together as a fandom, as a community, and just kind of talk about the episode. So as you all kind of know, overall thoughts, I reviewed the episode on Sunday. This will be my first time rewatching it since Sunday. And, I like the episode. All of us have our questions, right, about the unanswered questions for, what happened to that boy that was reported to be murdered in episode 9. We didn't learn more about that case. What happened with, Maria and her being in jail? Is her name going to be cleared and free of the murder? Same goes with, Tracy, and same goes with Heath's character. And will we learn more about the everything with Terry's grandfather and kind of the conversation he had with Holly, and what was that, episode 3 or 4, when she went to go visit him at the at his old folks home. So a lot of unanswered questions, but in particularly in this episode, which is my thumbnail for this video, and that is the whole Holly being scratched. Seeing Jack behind her, was that El Cuco connected to her? Was that her shining abilities that I've mentioned quite a few times on this, on my review here? Because when we were first introduced to Holly, we saw that she had, when she was a little kid, she had saw, I believe that was her grandmother in that CAT scan thing. So there's something definitely supernatural going on with Holly. So a lot of questions. Hopefully sooner rather than later, we will get a announcement from HBO that we will be getting a potential season 2 for The Outsider, whether that be a Holly-centric show, just kind of focusing on Holly and kind of her upbringing, and obviously her connection to El Cuco, or potentially connected to El Cuco with that scratch, and just kind of seeing what she's all about. And of course, that would be great if we can get Ben Mendelsohn's character, Ralph, back, and get a couple of other characters that survived that insane finale that we got on Sunday. So, like I said, guys, if you guys want to go ahead and load up your HBO app, whether you use HBO Go or HBO Now, or if you have it on your DVR, I'm going to press play now. So if you guys want to go ahead and press play, we'll go ahead and get this watch along started. Let me go ahead and turn up the audio a little bit. I love the opening too, by the way, guys. Just a clear blue skies, kind of the calm before the storm, if you may. Kind of wide angle shot there. Kind of reverse shot. There's something that hasn't, in my reviews, I didn't get too technical because I want to kind of keep it on the actual show and the storyline, but the cinematography and the score of these episodes have been fantastic. So as the episode kind of starts off, we see the shootout that immediately takes place after episode 9. See El Cuco kind of crouched over and making all his crazy sounds, which I know some people are kind of disappointed by the El Cuco that we get here in about 20 minutes or so, kind of his weakened state. I know that some people were kind of like, oh man, the whole hype for El Cuco being a monster, being a savage, and he kind of seemed a little weak. I think that's all a part of El Cuco's plan to kind of distract our main characters, but we see them kind of getting the shots shot at him, and oh man, Jack's just shooting Alec while he's down. You see Holly kind of crunched over here, guys. Yeah, again, Jack is just laying more bullets into Alec here. Again, I really love these first 10 minutes of the episode. It was just chaotic. It was a bloodbath for sure. And as we can see, Jack kind of... This part to me kind of baffles me. We see Howard now, guys. He's pulling up to the scene. Yeah, even Jack, get in there. I mean, Howard... You see them literally waving their hands to get out of there. You see a dead body, and Howard decides to drive forward instead of for hitting reverse. Lawyers, right? Am I right, guys? They make some silly decisions. And we see Seal taking shots at Jack here. So that rattlesnake, guys, let me know if you guys, is that El Cuco influence on that rattlesnake, or was that snake just kind of in nature happened to be there? I think if the snake was definitely kind of a call out to El Cuco there. See Jack just continuing to kind of yell, yeah, this is where Seal. I mean, they were not prepared for what they were walking into, guys. As we see Claude obviously upset by his brother dying. Who, by the way, I know we were all kind of upset with Seal last week with him telling, obviously, if it wasn't for Seal, they wouldn't be in the position they were in because he was the one that told Claude where they were headed. So, you know, definitely silly decision by Seal, but, you know, RIP to him for sure. Yeah, we see Giannis gets shot in the back there. Yeah, like I said, these first 10 minutes, guys, was fantastic to me. It was just so, like, I remember just sitting here. I was on the edge of my seat watching these first 10 minutes, just like, what is about to happen? As I had predicted in my video last week, as far as who I think was going to live and die based off of, you know, the episode 9 cliffhanger that we got. You know, I got most of my predictions right, except for Claude. He was the one that survived this shootout. But, you know, everyone else, you know, took the bullet. Unlike Howard, who got blown up, which was definitely a interesting way to go out. Here's Andy with his cell phone. And as I had mentioned in my review, guys, I know some people have mentioned in the comments, like, you know, I knew what Andy was doing, which he was trying to get a better signal from his cell phone, but could he not had, I don't know. And I know some people had speculated with Andy's character when he had that line with Holly earlier in the season about he has the spirit or the strength of 10 men or something like that. And a lot of people thought that Andy was going to maybe be the hero for the show, but unfortunately he was not. As we see him get in a car now. Silly decision. And Andy's a cop too. Like, you would think protocol would just be like not to go into a car where there's being open fires of the assault rifle being at you, but you know. Just, you hear Giannis say, just go. Couldn't he have drove forward? And you see Holly there looking at it through the window. She knows that he's a goner. I'm sorry, man. I would have bust a U-turn and just drove forward and backing up. I don't know, I just thought it was a lot of silly decisions by Howard and Andy in this chaotic blood bath here. Excuse me, guys. And that's where he got him. 2 shots. And our boy Andy is down. Here, let me read some of these chats here because I've obviously seen the episode. And we're going to get into the main thing of one of my favorite scenes was the cave scene here. So let's see what we got in the chat. Let's see what you guys are talking about here. Let's see. Holly is shining. Love your reviews. Appreciate it. Pretty Girl 101. Strange Things style view. Yeah, for sure. We are upside down. We were upside down. I hope, yeah. Let me know, like I said in the chat, guys. I think that was earlier in the chat when I was messing around with my phone. And let me know if the audio and everything is good. Again, I tried to set it up on my computer and the live wasn't working for me. So I'm using my phone. So again, I'm sorry for the bad audio, this bad lighting. I had my phone kind of prompt on a little stand for a picture stand. Oh, and you see Howard go out here. So I apologize for the look of this live, guys. I'm going to try to do another live here in the future and have it set up a lot better than what it is now. So we see Okuko in the cave as he's kind of doing his whatever he's doing at this moment. I think it's just him obviously controlling Jack at this moment. And right now you see Jack, he has Holly in the line of sight to take out. He could have took Holly out, guys. So that's another thing, and speculation about the whole line with Holly saying an outsider knows an outsider. And some people are speculating that Holly might have, might be an outsider. I don't think that is the case, as I have mentioned many times in my reviews, that she has some type of abilities, more likely some shining abilities. And also that line of an outsider knows an outsider can allude to her in society. You know, obviously she doesn't seem to have a lot of friends. You know, has an unorthodox type of way of doing her investigations. So she's an outsider compared to the standard people that we get in the show. So we see Jack. He wants to shoot, or at least that's El Cuco inside of him that wants to have her get shot. And you can see Jack kind of like making, yeah, damn you to hell. That line definitely hits Jack. I think that's where Jack kind of knows he has to break out of this trance, has to break out of this control from El Cuco. We wish that would have happened earlier, right, when he didn't take out other heroes. But obviously Holly was able to connect to him and get to him. And we see El Cuco's obviously upset, as we can see on the back of Jack's neck. That practical effect of the bumps or whatever on his neck, the control, the slave tactics of El Cuco is disgusting. As we see the rattlesnake approaching, definitely has to say that Rattlesnake is definitely connected to El Cuco. As we know, El Cuco has the abilities of, you know, transforming and, you know, into ghost-like figures or, you know, projections. And he could definitely probably has the abilities to transfer his influence of evil to things like Rattlesnake. So I definitely would assume that was El Cuco that was attached to that rattlesnake there. And Holly knows that something happens. Again, I would love, you know, even if we don't get a quote-unquote season 2 for this show, I would love like a Holly type show spinoff, if you may, with obviously Cynthia Erivo as the character, because she is such a fascinating character. I know a lot of you all that have read the books and have mentioned that this Holly character has been in Mr. Mercedes TV show and a couple other stuff that you guys have mentioned, but I would definitely love to see Holly back. Again, I would love a season 2 for this show, directly to the show, but if they give us like a spinoff or something like that, I'm on board for that too, because I thought that the performance by Cynthia Erivo was fantastic. As we see Claude now holding his dead brother in his arms. Obviously, El Cuco's pissed at this point. And I am to assume that the bed and the lamp and everything that El Cuco has in his cave hideout was the same setup and the equipment that El Cuco had Jack put out in that forest that we saw a couple episodes ago. I would assume those are the same things. And we get our little title card here. Let me read some of these chats right quick while we kind of transition. Sounds good. We are here. Hey, guys, enjoy. Catch the rewatch. Appreciate it, man. Have a good night. I'm looking for a clarification on who's Andy. Yeah, we'll talk about that. That whole who's Tracy's line. I didn't bring that up in my review because obviously there was just so much to go over, and it was definitely a pivotal point in the episode, and I definitely forgot to mention. But we'll talk about that once we get to that point of who's Terry, because that is a very interesting line by Holly there, and we'll kind of talk about that once we get to that point in the episode. As we see Jack wounded by the rattlesnake. Obviously, the poison in the rattlesnake has gotten to him. Again, this show, from not only the cinematography but the practical effects of the show, this is just a top notch, as come to expect it from an HBO series. But you know, you definitely got to give the props to the practical effect team and the special effects team. They did a really good job. Let me know in the chat, guys. If you guys feel bad for Jack, let me know your true feelings about Jack, about how everything kind of played out. Do you feel bad for him at all? Yeah, obviously he was under the influence of El Cuco. He's done some things. He's killed some people under the influence of El Cuco. Let me know what you guys are thinking about Jack. Like I said, do you feel sympathetic for him? Let me know. Let me know. As he takes himself out. Me personally, the performance by the actor that played Jack was incredible. The first time I ever seen him was on, Ozark, season 1. If you guys ever seen Ozark, another amazing Jason Bateman show that I can't wait for season 3 in a couple weeks. He was Russell on Ozark, and I think he's a really great actor. I definitely have some sympathy for Jack, but, you know, I mean, the guy was kind of a loose cannon, right? And obviously, there's a reason why El Cuco chose him to be, his next victim, his next slave. But like I said, I feel bad for Jack. But let me know what you guys are thinking about our Jack's character. If you feel bad for him. A monster that says, "Watch your step." LOL. Yeah, that's funny. Again, I think the whole, and we'll get into that scene here now with Holly and Ralph approaching El Cuco. I think the whole approach from El Cuco being a little arrogant at times and somewhat witty and funny. I think it's all a hoax, right? It's all a play for El Cuco just to kind of show appearances. As we all know, he's all about appearances, right? Taking people's identity. I think he's just putting on the front. It's a distraction, for them. So, but it is kind of funny him saying, "Watch your step" and hold on to the wall. So right now, like I said, for everyone that's kind of joined into the chat, I'm about, obviously for you guys that are doing the replay, right now we are 13 minutes and 24 seconds into the episode. And right now we are at the point where Ralph and Holly are in the bear cave, walking down the stairs to a very pivotal scene that I'm really interested in breaking down. I'll probably pause a couple times and kind of give you guys my thoughts. And obviously I want to hear you guys' thoughts on one of the pivotal scenes in this episode, which is, Ralph and Holly talking to El Cuco. Like Holly is stating now, El Cuco, based on some of the marks she says that he's scared of dying. He doesn't want to fall. And what I'm looking for now, too, within this couple minutes, and we'll talk about that, obviously, that post-credit scene, but, I don't think Holly was scratched in the cave. Many things have kind of pointed towards that in regards to when she's saying her goodbyes to Ralph towards the end of the episode. You can see that she's wearing a short sleeve and there's no scratches. So we'll talk about that scene here, but I don't think this scene shows that, El Cuco scratched her during this, the cave scene. So this is kind of a slower moment. So let me go into the chat right quick, guys. I'm sorry, I don't want to feel like I'm ignoring these amazing comments by you amazing folks. So let's see. Karen says, "Nope, I don't feel bad for Jack at all." Heidi, how could Jack get into the police force with a bad psych record, by the way? I mean, not to get too political on this, but, there's a lot of people that are unstable in certain positions of power in police forces, in military, in any, anything. So I hear what you're saying, Heidi, but, unfortunately that stuff kind of slips through the cracks sometimes. Crystal Roberts says, "Nope, bye, Jack. I'm going to be able to let him go for sure, for sure." Shared 9303, Jack was always considered an outsider from the other detectives in the book, so you don't really sympathize with him. Yeah, and I've read that with some of the people that have read the novel, that the portrayal of Jack in the show is a little bit more sympathetic than the Jack that we see in the or that people have read in the books, which I haven't read the books. I also heard that Jack had cancer in the books, and obviously that wasn't something that was presented in this show. So there's definitely a lot of differences there between the Jack character from the book and the novel. Let's see what we got here. Little Lost, day 2. Here we go. "I didn't feel sad until he was stumbling towards them after he was bit. El Cuco playing with his next meal." Hey, y'all, Late Girl 71. How we doing? Plus, it threw me off. The Sully fight. Yeah, we'll talk about that ending once we kind of get to that point there. Cuco must be able to form from nothing. Otherwise, the ending is pretty weak to me, says DG. Heidi, "I don't either. She wasn't scratched," Heidi says. I don't think she was either. I just want to make sure I don't miss the big scene. Like I said, guys, for those that are just tuning in, we're doing a watch along. So right now, if you guys want to queue up your HBO app or DVR, I am 17 minutes and 5 seconds into the episode. And right now, we see Claude, obviously mourning his brother that was killed by Jack as he covers him up, and it's just obviously at this point, this is when he probably made the decision that he's gonna kill El Cuco. He's ruined his life. He's killed his brother. He's gotten to his head. And now we see Holly. I wish I could turn this up. I love this the score of this episode. Creepy, eerie music as Holly and Ralph are approaching El Cuco. And here we go, El Cuco. Watch your step, it's quite slippery. And as I had mentioned in my review, the portrayal of Claude, the actor whose name is slipping me at the moment, I think he did a fantastic job of being the Claude character that we saw and that wasn't converted into El Cuco. But then seeing him, playing El Cuco in these last episodes have been really great, in my opinion. And it takes a certain actor to do that, and I think he did a fantastic job. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are now at the point where Holly and Ralph are in the cave. They see El Cuco set up in his Airbnb. So I'm sorry if I'm not going to be chatting that much because I really want to I want to break down the scene, guys. I'm going to press pause real quick. Again, for those that are watching along, I'm sorry if I'm squinting. I don't have my glasses on. We are 18 minutes and 29 seconds into the episode. So we're going to press pause here before we jump into it. So this is what I'm looking for in this particular episode, or this particular scene here that I'm pressing pause and trying to dissect it and break it down. So we see Holly, we see Ralph, we see El Cuco. Obviously, when I saw the episode for the first time, I wanted some more of that conversation. I wanted Holly to really get those questions answered by El Cuco. Why children, as he alludes to, they're the sweetest. Who are you? How long have you been alive? And we get those answers from El Cuco, but I really just want to dissect these questions because it seemed like to me El Cuco was kind of not probing Holly, but just really kind of like getting a sense of like, the answers because there is some type of connection, some type of familiarity with El Cuco and Holly there within this conversation. I really want to pay attention to this scene. So before we dive into it, when I press play, let me see what you guys are thinking about this scene here. Let's see. And I appreciate, and again, if I hadn't said it already, which I think I haven't, for everyone that's in the chat now, for everyone that's watched my reviews for the last 10 weeks, did a like on the video, commented, subscribed to this channel, and all that fun stuff. I can't thank you all enough. This has been such a fun experience for me reviewing this show that I've been a fan of since the beginning. I've been a fan of, more importantly, interacting with you all. So thank you all for being in the chat. And really enjoy talking about the show with you all. And I hope you guys have subscribed because I do have other content on this channel. Some people don't know that I review a lot of stuff. I review a lot of TV shows. A lot of you all didn't know. Some of you guys actually came over from my reviews from Castle Rock, another Stephen King adaptation on Hulu. So I review that show. I review stuff on Netflix. I review movies, obviously. So if you guys are new to the channel, definitely check out my content. But again, I appreciate everyone that's kind of jumped on board since doing these reviews for The Outsider. So just want to put that out there. As some people mentioned, Servant, I do the Apple TV reviews as well. So again, I appreciate all the support, guys. So let me see what the chat is saying, and we'll go ahead and press play and watch this scene play out. Let's see. Holly is tougher than Ralph. I agree. Yes, she is, as Karen says. Still 5101 Rain, you had me at Servant. Yeah, appreciate it. Thank you, man. I had a good time with that show as well. Servant, if you guys didn't know, I reviewed week to week all those episodes. You can check out those reviews. Very excited for season 2. I don't know if you guys follow Servant on Twitter, but they had mentioned, or they didn't mention, but M. Night had said on his Twitter that they have just wrapped season 2. So I'm hoping that we're going to get a release date for season 2, maybe by the end of this fall. So very excited for that. But we're talking about The Outsider right now, but very excited for Servant to come back. I'm going to check out when Ozark drop. I'm going to check out Spencer's Confidential Review. Plus, I might watch DC. Yeah, I appreciate it, man. Yes, for those that are wondering what I'm watching now, Devs on FX on Hulu is fantastic for my sci-fi thriller drama fans. Really good show. Is brought to us by the incredible Alex Garland. Can't recommend that show enough. I'm 2 episodes in. I actually reviewed episode 1 and 2, so definitely check out that review. And I believe episode 3 will be premiering either Wednesday or Thursday. So definitely keep an eye out for that. DG says, The Boys. I don't have Amazon, DG, but I am thinking about doing Amazon this summer. doing Amazon Prime and watching The Boys. I've heard a lot of great things about that show, and I'm definitely might jump on board that bandwagon because I heard the first season was great. I love superheroes. I love the raw grittiness that I heard the show has. So I'm very excited to check that out. So we'll see what we got this summer with The Boys. So anyway, let me get back to this here. With this scene here. So again, for all those that are watching at home, we are 18 minutes and 29 seconds in. I'm gonna press play because I really want to look at this scene here with El Cuco. Let me turn this up a little bit. So Holly tells El Cuco her last name for the first time. Sounds little like Forrest Gump.
I want to know what made it so easy for you to believe in me.
What made it so easy for?
Because she managed to convince a cowpoke like you, Sheriff.
I love this scene here.
What are you?
As she asks him, what is he?
What is your name? Where did you come from?
I don't remember.
What is your nature?
We're not very good at answering each other's questions.
Are they working?
So as El Cuco says to Holly, we're not that good. We're not that good at answering each other questions, Holly. We're not that good at answering each other's questions. Let me know what you guys think about that line there, because obviously Holly's asking El Cuco about his origins. You know, what are you? What do you call yourself? How long have you been around? And his answer for her was, we're not good at answering each other's questions. There's some questions, some unanswered questions about Holly. About, as we talked about, again, her abilities, her potential shining abilities, her her unorthodox ways of investigating supernatural things that are going around. So very interesting question. Go ahead and press play.
Wow. You seen someone like me before?
As she asks him, are there others? Ralph, right? This is why I love Ralph. I love Ben Mendelsohn, right? But this is, and I press pause 19 minutes, 35 seconds into the episode. This is where El Cuco was going to maybe give a little bit of information. This is when he's talking about he sensed others before. And as we've alluded to in these reviews that, that there might be other El Cucos out there, that, the boy that they didn't mention in the finale that was murdered brutally in Cherokee, maybe that was another El Cuco, maybe a more violent El Cuco, and his matters of, killings and things of that nature. So very interesting line by El Cuco there in regards to, are there others out there? He sensed others out there before. So very, very fascinating line there. Again, if we get a season 2, which I hope that we do, I hope that that is something that is explored. The origin of El Cuco in regards to, the grieving, the tear eater, the nature of how he goes about choosing the victims, how he goes about, how he handles things. So very, very fascinating. We obviously didn't get that much in this finale, but I hope that if we do get to season 2, which I inevitably think that we will, that's something they explore. So we'll go ahead and press play now.
You really gonna pull that trigger, Sheriff? You go ahead and do it. You don't mind dying. With a real tribal, please stand up.
A little shout out to Eminem there. With a real Slim Shady, please stand up. Real Clot Bolton, please stand up. Again, this is a cat and mouse game, right? This is El Cuco antagonizing, probing them,
Step back. They're here, Yeah. Rescuers couldn't even rescue themselves.
You couldn't get to them, could you?
Well, no matter. I still feel their presence. Especially the four walls. They give off such a glow.
They give off such a glow, as El Cuco says, and she says glow.
There's blood.
They give off such a glow, as we all Stephen King fans know. Glow can mean many things, but to me, you know, when I think of glow, I think of shining abilities
Fills me.
or some sensitivity to the supernatural, you know, being exposed to it, a la like a Jedi, being force sensitive.
My children.
Stop asking. Fight to survive. Shut up.
Let me press pause here. So this is where Holly, again, for those that are watching along at home, 21 minutes and 27 seconds into the episode, as she asks El Cuco why children, as El Cuco states, you know, he has to survive. And I know some people had complained. Again, I'm a big fan of the show, so I read all the chats. I read all the comments. I watch other amazing YouTubers' videos, heavy review or heavy spoilers, think stories. There's a couple other channels that are reviewing the show, as I have. And I have so much fun watching their videos, but a lot of people have kind of speculated that they didn't, or not speculated, but some people weren't fond of, you know, kind of the sympathetic angle that the writers might have put the viewers in for El Cuco, right? As he's telling Holly, you know, he has to eat to survive. There's a, you know, kind of an approach to the madness, right? That there's some reveals that you don't want to know about, and they're trying to maybe make him make the audience feel sympathetic for him, because again, he doesn't know his true nature. He doesn't know why he does the things he do for a certain reason. But I think again, that's all into the as Ralph kind of alludes to here, he's playing possum. You know, I think it's just it's a facade, right? It's just El Cuco trying to get under their skin, antagonizing them, throwing them off their game, trying to get them confused. So I think it's just a way of, again, I know some people weren't too excited about the portrayal of El Cuco in this last episode, but I'm just soaking it all in, guys. This is someone that is sinister. He is menacing. He's an evil entity, and I think that he uses this angle to try to get under their skin. So I liked this this portrayal of El Cuco. And I know some people wanted him to be more savage. They wanted him to be, I think I've read some comments, some people wanted El Cuco to be out of the cave and he'll eat Andy. They wanted people to, you know, to see that savage beast monster like from El Cuco. But I like this more laid back, kind of back and forth approach, because that's what the show has given us, right? They haven't been, some of the best scenes, in my opinion, have been the moments, the quieter moments, the conversational moments like we're having now, the moments in the car from Ralph and Holly, the moments that we've seen so far. So I like these moments here personally. So I'm going to go ahead and press play again for those that are at home watching. We are 21 minutes and 38 seconds. Is that 38? Yeah, 38. So I'm going to go ahead and press play as Holly asks El Cuco why children. And he says they taste the sweetest. Again, he's getting under his skin. He's antagonizing them. He knows what he's doing. He's always 10 steps ahead of his enemies. I love this line here. As El Cuco says, I can't let you leave, right? You know that, right? And Holly says, no.
We're the ones who can't let you live.
Ooh, we're the ones who can't let you leave. I love that line. Holly, as Karen has alluded to earlier, Holly is definitely a badass. She's staring in the face of evil. And is going back and forth with this evil entity. As we see Claude walk to the cave with the shotgun. You know, in the back of my head, I remember taking myself back a couple nights ago. I'm like, there's no way that Claude's not going to shoot El Cuco after the murder, after seeing his brother died, after seeing El Cuco attach himself to him. There was no way they were going to prevent him. The only way they want to stop Claude from shooting him is if they took out Claude themselves, a quick takedown. But, you know, that obviously wasn't going to happen.
Just look at us. Put the gun.
Let me press pause real quick. I didn't even really notice this. So, as and we're 23:05 is where we're at now in the episode, guys. For those that are watching at home, as Claude is walking up to El Cuco, and Holly's telling him to put the gun down, to not shoot El Cuco. You know, we see El Cuco at this moment where I'm paused that he's closing his eyes, he's breathing in. You got to remember, he's attached to Claude. So he knows what his next move is going to be, which is to shoot him. So again, guys, I think this is where, a lot of people going back to is El Cuco dead? I think this is him being 10 steps ahead of his enemies, being 10 steps ahead of Holly, Ralph, and then at this point, Claude. He knows that Claude's going to shoot him, causing the cave to collapse, causing certain things to take place. And we'll get to that scene where, again, some people have speculated, me being one of them, that maybe within that moment, which we're going to get to in a bit, that El Cuco was able to attach himself to Claude, at that moment. Because, again, he knows what's going to happen. He knows that Claude's going to pull that trigger, the cave's going to collapse, and, everything's going to kind of happen from there. So we're going to go ahead. Let me actually read these comments that I'm currently paused. Excuse me. Again, guys, I appreciate the awesome comments. There's so many great comments here. Let me try to go up here. I want to make sure I read as many as I can. Once I'm done with this episode, I'm going to definitely read these comments a little bit more in depth. But I'll start off with Karen. Yep, to me, Justin Lube and Holly. DG says, Kuko says he doesn't know where he came from. Can he form from nothing? Maybe that's why he almost encouraging him to kill him. Very true. Is he like Cell? Karen says it's on Prime. Last time I checked, I believe this is when we were talking about The Boys. Also, I'm gonna check it out. The line threw me off for some reason. LOL. Wasn't Eminem? Yeah, I was just being funny. Veggie Matt. Gotta watch Deep. Dr. Sleep and Castle Rock. Yeah, Dr. Sleep, fantastic movie. Unfortunately, a lot of people didn't see it at the theater, but I actually I reviewed that on my channel. Very big fan of that movie, and also Castle Rock. Wasn't the biggest fan of season 1, but I really enjoyed season 2 with the whole Annie storyline and everything that we got there. So definitely recommend those for you. Karen says, Glow, The Shining to me. Yeah, definitely. I agree with you there, Karen. DG, I think Soul Glow. What's going on? AVA, ATO 8-7. What's going on? Something dumb came up, and now I am at my G's parents' house, bored out of my mind. Haha. Well, I hope everything gets a little lively at your girlfriend's parents' house. You guys have some fun stuff going on, hopefully. Is Dr. Sleep a movie or series? It is a movie. Is it good? Yes, I like Dr. Sleep a lot, personally. I mean, he sucks that he's humans, though. The cave conversation is the best part. Yeah, I agree with you, Jerry. I really enjoyed this scene. So many awesome comments, guys. Really, really appreciate it. So we're going to go ahead and kick this off again here. Let me make sure and see if there's any must kill a Cuco, can't kill a Cuco. Good question. The scene was scary. All right, so we're going to go ahead and press play again. For those that are watching it with me at home, we are 23:05. We're 23 minutes and 5 seconds into the episode. So I'm going to go ahead and press play, and let's break down the scene. So again, it almost looks like El Cuco is smiling because he knows that Claude is going to shoot him, which he does. And obviously, cause and effect, the cave's going to collapse. Again, he knew that Claude was going to shoot him, guys. Again, El Cuco was attached to Claude, so he knew what his decision was going to be. As we see the cave collapse. I think I might have mentioned it in my review, but I thought they were going to pull the okie doke, guys. I thought that was going to be the twist in the episode, that we were going to see Claude walk out of the cave, but it was going to really be El Cuco. And we'll get to that moment here in a bit. As we see the camera is now angling to the lamp, which I don't know why. What's the significance of that particular shot there? But and like I said, when I first saw this, I'm like, oh man. As the scene kind of plays out, I was like, they're gonna have the Claude that we think is Claude actually be El Cuco and be the one that's gonna walk out the cave with him. But again, that wasn't the case to an extent. I have a little theory about that, which we'll talk about. And it's almost like, too, with Claude in that moment, it looks like he wanted to die, in my opinion. the way he was walking up to El Cuco and not really acknowledging the cave collapsing around him. But again, it'll be really interesting to see if we get a season 2 that they bring Claw back into the mix. 'Cause I would like to, see what he's up to after these events. So now we see Holly and Ralph walking up to El Cuco as we see El Cuco playing dead, right? Playing possum, as Ralph says.
Here's some kind of
So this is where, again, on my first viewing Sunday night, where Holly asks Ralph for his knife, a cutting knife, and she walks up to El Cuco. I had alluded in my review that maybe this is where Holly was scratched. But again, just from further examination and reading the comments and looking at the scene right now, there's no way he could have scratched her because she's wearing a long sleeve coat. All right, here's a big scene here. Let me wait for it. All right, so 2601. As, it looks like Holly wants to maybe cut El Cuco up, get some evidence, do Holly type of stuff. Ralph says, hold up, Holly. We need to, hold off of that because we're going to need this evidence. We're going to need to show proof to clear Terry's name. And this has been the big scene here that a lot of people brought up. Who's Terry? So a lot of questions here, guys. So thoughts, comments, concerns, theories, let me know in the comments, guys. But, who is Terry? So I have read, again, I'm a part of a lot of different communities because I really love this show. Some people have speculated that in this moment, Holly saying, who's Terry, could have been a moment where, you just saw your soon-to-be potential boyfriend, whatever what they had going, potential husband in the future, Andy. You just saw him die right in front of you. You saw Howard get blown up in front of you. You saw Seal get shot in the stomach. You see Alec get his cap blown off. You see, Ralph blow, or Jack shoot himself in the face. And now you're coming face to face with this evil entity. So some people are speculating that Holly was just not in her right mind. You just almost got collapsed by this cave, and someone's bringing up, Terry, who she hasn't met physically, as some people have mentioned, but she's just not in her right mindset. She's just like all kind of frazzled, kind of in a frenzy, and he's mentioning Terry. We need to clear up his name, and she's like, who's Terry? Sure, that's understandable. So there's that one theory. Then there's the other theory that, yes, she hasn't met Terry, but she had her kind of into this group, into this investigation, was her going to Terry's dad's place. So she knows of Terry's name. She hasn't met her girls. She hasn't met the wife yet, but she's Holly also. She's very smart. She's very intellectual. She's very, we all know she's very detailed. It's very hard for her to forget things. So her forgetting Terry was kind of a weird situation in that moment. So there was other speculation too in regards to, who's Terry. And I don't know if I agree with this, but it's just like maybe a joke at this moment from Holly, just being like, who's Terry? It's like, I don't know. So again, this isn't answered in this episode, obviously, and we can all speculate. We can all make our theories about it, and hopefully, that is something that's addressed in season 2. But who's Terry? I want to know what you guys are thinking about what that comment meant there. As DG says, why didn't they bring a camera? Yeah, I would assume they all have smartphones. I don't know why they wouldn't have use their smartphone. But anyway, I thought that was so weird. Heidi says, starting to reinvent herself. Veggie Matt, yeah, I want to know her mindset. And all the crazy stuff. Jerry says she was so sharp, no way she could forget. Yeah. At the end, she was scared of planes, decided to drive home. Maybe she was her way of coping, forgetting it. Say later if you had no time to think. I thought the same. She's always on her phone. After the trauma scene, Andy killed, question mark. The mirror music confirms something is up. Yeah, we'll talk about that in post-credit scene when we get there. Or who is Terry? Like, why would Terry stop me from killing him? Could she maybe have forgotten, cut out the bullet, shrapnel falling off the rock debris? I mean, we don't know if it's the blood. Or, I think we were talking about the stuff here. Yeah, it's true. The scene with her. So yeah, we're talking about the ending here. So again, there's a lot to kind of take in from that moment of who Terry is. Again, I'm surprised Ralph at that moment wasn't like, what do you mean who's Terry? He's the guy that brought you into this investigation. That's who Terry is. So again, this is we'll talk about this maybe connecting to the post-credit scene about her potentially changing her, El Cuco's influence on her, things of that nature. But we don't know of El Cuco taking over a victim or transforming to this person that it erases their memory. So that who Terry line is very, very fascinating, very interesting, very, very interesting. So any other comments here before I press play? Great point. So much. Consider he hadn't said something or gave her a look at least. Yeah, like I said, DG. I'm surprised Ralph wasn't like, what the fuck? What do you mean? Who's Terry? You know who Terry is. But again, they're both coming off of some pretty crazy circumstances within this moment. So maybe it wasn't the right time for him to check Holly at that point, or even Holly to correct herself and be like, oh yeah, that guy that was accused of murder. Did I kill him? No, you didn't, Claude. You didn't kill him. So another big scene here that a lot of people, including myself, was confused about was, which we'll see. I'm gonna pause here in a bit with Ralph going back to El Cuco's body. So we're gonna go ahead and press pause right about now. So 28:51. Man, I really cannot see. Let me go ahead and put my glasses on because I can't see, guys. So 26:52. That's where we're at. So at 26:52. Oh, and by the way, if you guys don't know, I wear glasses 24/7 for reading and driving. I don't wear them in my reviews because there's a glare, as you can all see now. But yeah, so some people like myself in my review, I was like, who are those boys? One, I could definitely confirm, as I press on the screen now, that's definitely Derek. That's Ralph's son. I'm gonna go ahead and press play now and take a look at the other son or the other boy down there. So again, when I had reviewed this, I'm like, okay, who is that other boy? And I paused at 27:04. Who's the other person there next to Derek? So as I kind of did my research on IMDb, which 9 times out of 10 is correct as far as the casting list, that other boy next to Ralph's son Derek was Ollie Peterson, which is Frankie Peterson's brother, his older brother, which was who was killed by Ralph. So some people was like, why would Frankie Peterson's brother be there? It's because Ralph killed him. So at that point, going back to why Ralph went back, this is El Cuco's way of still showing that he's alive. He's still influencing the people around him. As we all know, El Cuco brought the vision of Ralph's son Derek, of letting him go, things of that nature. So El Cuco, this is Ralph knowing that El Cuco is still alive because his son Derek and Ali, who he killed, which would be on his mind again, is like, why would he be there? It's because, again, Ralph was the one that killed Ali after he had shot Terry. So that makes sense. So again, just for confirmation, those two ghosts were Derek, Ralph's son who passed away, and the other boy is Ali Peterson, Frankie Peterson's older brother, who Ralph killed after killing Terry. So it makes sense why those two would be there and letting them and warning them, them warning him that El Cuco is still alive.
Which one?
And by the way, it's creepy as hell too, just seeing those two dead people looking at him like that. I love this scene here.
Not so shabby.
Again, Cynthia Erivo and Ben Mendelsohn.
I know it.
Co-MVPs in my opinion. Give them both a trophy.
Doing the track.
But if I were to give a little extra vote, it'd definitely be to Holly. I thought she was incredible.
Which means you can't feed, build yourself. There's all this stuff Nixon just walking out here right now. I'm back with the Buffalo tourists. We just watch them fucking push each other out of the way. Desperate, trying to get the best angle of what's left of your fucking face. And then comes the ever-curious scientific community.
So I'm just sorry. I'm not talking, I'm just really breaking down this scene and make sure I don't miss anything. We're just seeing Ralph talking to El Cuco about, why he doesn't want him to exit this cave, that he has to end the existence of El Cuco. He doesn't want any words spoken about El Cuco.
Yeah, you wouldn't want that, would you?
Scientists carving him up, and El Cuco knows what Ralph is going to do as he gives him one last kind of FU middle finger to Ralph
Sure, if Carl
here in a bit.
much better. If no one ever knew that you had.
As Ralph says, as no one ever will know you existed. We'll press pause real quick. I know a lot of people, so I'm pressing pause at 29:33 for all those watching at home now. Ralph thinking he is doing something by killing El Cuco, by finishing him. But El Cuco, I think this is all part of his plan, guys. All part of his plan to have Ralph do what he's going to do to him now, which is think that he's killing El Cuco and ending him.
You gotta go.
I'm definitely going to press pause here in a bit and see those faces. So let's see. Face number one that he's transforming to definitely looks like Jason Bateman, who, by the way, as I had mentioned earlier on, big fan of Jason Bateman. We'll be reviewing Ozark Season 3, which I'm very excited for. And shout out to Jason Bateman. The first 2 episodes, he set the tone. He set the look, the feel of the show. And, that's really big. And I really, big props to Jason Bateman. So the first face that he's transforming to is definitely Jason Bateman's character. As Ralph sees the victims. So the next face is black. It's a black person that he's going to. He put on his black face, and it looks like that that person that he's transforming to is looks like Heath's character, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, it looks like Heath. So we can definitely Terry Heath. Let's see who the next transformation is. As Holly's going back to see what Ralph is doing. Next face looks like a female's face. Looks like Maria, who I mentioned in my review. We don't know if Maria is her name cleared now. Is she going to be released from prison after these findings? Well, season 2, maybe. I don't know. By the way, guys, if I see there's 33 people in the chat. Go ahead, if you haven't already, give this video a thumbs up. Really helps out the channel. And I also really appreciate it. So definitely, if you're watching this now, give this video a thumbs up. I really appreciate it, guys. But it looks like we got Maria's face there. Let's see. Another face. It looks like he's transforming to an old man in my review. I had alluded that older man or older person might be Terry's dad. I'm not really sure. As we see Ralph at that point just smash his face in. Some people are speculating that they might have saw Holly's face in that transformation. Some people have read in comments that they think that they saw Jeannie's face, which is obviously Ralph's wife. Some people have said they saw Ralph, in that last kind of face, that last transformation there. So very, very interesting scene there, because to me it was just El Cuco just saying it's not over. Look at all these people that I have affected their lives, will continue to affect their lives. I might not, you might think you're ending my existence, but I'm never going to end. Even if it's not that particular El Cuco, there might be many, many others out there. Very great scene. Again, for me, the shootout scene was chaotic, was insane. I didn't notice here too. I'm pressing pause now, 31:19 seconds. The camera's slowly panning to what looks like to be a coat. Which, did someone have a coat on when they were down there? Was it Holly who had a coat on? But I thought Holly had her coat on when we just saw her, so I don't think that's her coat. Ralph didn't have a coat on, did he? I'm not sure. I'm gonna have to watch this episode again to see who was it that wore a coat, because there's a coat. Is for some reason, like I said, I'm 31:19. The camera's slowly panning to a coat. It looks like to me. I don't know the significance of that coat. Let me know in the chat, guys. Or a hoodie. It might be the hoodie that El Cuco wore in his transformation, which, why would he bring his, maybe it's his lucky hoodie. It's his favorite hoodie. His mama gave it to him. I don't know. All right, so we got a little bit of a break here. Let me read some of these awesome comments. Let's see. Let me scroll up. Scrolling. A lot of great comments, guys. Can't keep up with you guys. You got so many great comments. I appreciate it, guys. Again, if you're watching this video now, go ahead and do me a favor. Like this video. Give it a thumbs up. Really helps out the channel. Also, I greatly appreciate it. So definitely, if you're watching this now, if you're in the chat now, give this video a thumbs up. I would really appreciate it, guys. I wish we look at the creature was more disturbing when it came face to face with it. Literally looks like Claude with messy. Yeah, I hear you, DJ. Again, I hear the final formation, the final scene with El Cuco might have been underwhelming for some people, but he came here with me as she's talking about Andy. I like the arrogant kind of approach to El Cuco. I think, again, it was all a play. It was all an act for him, the distraction, being arrogant, things like that. I like that, the way that they presented El Cuco, because again, they could have made him more demonic looking creature, otherworldly like, but I like what we got with El Cuco, especially the actor that played El Cuco in this last transformation. Yeah, someone mentioned in chat now they thought that the T's character was going to be a little bit more pivotal to the storyline with her and her baby, and we saw that scene with her thinking she saw someone taking her baby. I thought that was going to play a bigger part too, which it may, may well be the case of a season 2 potentially. Again, alluding to another El Cuco, maybe potentially in Cherokee. What's the deal with Ralph and Holly? Question to El Cuco. Yeah, I thought the baby was a goner. Yeah, again, I thought that the baby in that storyline was going to play a little bit of a bigger part into the end result, but it didn't. But again, as we've all been speculating, might be a season 2. Knock on wood. Let's see. Scroll down here. Hold on, let me press pause here. Let's read some of these awesome comments. Pretty Girl 101, his growling sound was amazing and scary. Yeah, I agree with you. From the score of the show, the cinematography, the all that technical stuff for the show was really well done. So I definitely agree with you. AVA 287. Yeah, those bone crunching noises were insane for sure. By the way, great to be here. I'm glad I was able to catch this. You are such an amazing YouTuber and even more amazing person. Hey, I appreciate it. Really appreciate it. Again, I do these reviews. I'm doing this live for you guys because I have such a great time interacting with you all, talking about this show that I love for the last, 2 months or so, or 2 months and a half, and I really appreciate all the support, guys. So I wouldn't be here without you guys. I wouldn't be doing this without you guys. So I really appreciate that. You guys are fantastic. I hope that you guys stick around on this channel because I will be continuing to review things. That's something I love to do. I don't mean to kind of derail this conversation, but I have been a fan of film and TV shows my whole life. So, I've been doing this YouTube thing for well over a decade, but I started doing the movie files things about 2.5 years ago. So I really have a blast doing these, and I really love, like I said, interacting with you all and talking about this show. So, again, I appreciate it, guys. And again, if you're all in the chat now, if you haven't already, give this video a thumbs up. Really would appreciate that. Really helps out the channel. My channel is not monetized, so anything that you guys can do to help me out would be just giving me a thumbs up. I really appreciate it, guys. So let's see. We got greetings, everyone. Later meeting. Sin E, what's going on, man? I appreciate you jumping on in the chat. What's up? Steel 5-1 Rain. Hey, Cindy DG. Looks like he wants to die. Yeah, that's what I was thinking too, DG, about El Cuco wanting to die at that moment. Karen, who I'm a big fan of. How you doing, Karen? Karen N. I was hoping that they would have shot off a few rounds once they got. Yeah, that would have been smart, right, Karen? Just for extra measure. That was a lamp and a gift offering from Jack. I was thinking he might be sensitive to sunlight, and that's why his lamps, but he could be wrong. Yeah, except we saw El Cuco in the sunlight. Obviously, he was wearing his hoodie and all that, but definitely a good comment there. Let's see. The question is, how did he get there and why? Veggie Matt said, for those who haven't read the book, this is one of Holly's first appearances. Like, after this, what book does she go to? Or what book did she come from? Again, that's a great question, man. I'm not too familiar with Holly's story. This is my first time ever being exposed to Holly on any format or any media. I never, this is my first time being exposed to her, and I love this character. I think she's fantastic, and I hope, again, if we don't get a season 2, we get a spinoff with Holly or something of that nature. I'm a big fan of Cynthia Erivo's portrayal of this fantastic character that I've heard great things about from other people, and obviously from this show. He even makes Ralph come back and finish him. Yeah, some really great comments, guys. Excuse me. All right, so a lot of people are talking about the post credit scene, which we're about 20 minutes away from that, but I'm gonna go ahead and press play in a little bit. And that was a shot of the hoodie? Question mark. Did we see Andy's body? No, I don't think we saw Andy's body because Andy's body is on fire, or was on fire. So I don't know if we'll be able to see him. Where did not see the hoodie? Heidi, the hoodie. As I paused a couple minutes ago, like I said, the camera was like panning to that hoodie. So again, I don't know if that was someone's jacket, if that was maybe El Cuco's hoodie that he wore. Like I said, it might have been his favorite hoodie. It's cold out there where they are. So I'm not too sure what the significance of that was. When she said who's Holly or Terry, we talked about that. Holly had been affected by the entity. She never forgets to remember. Yeah, that's what I had mentioned earlier. That's a very interesting line. The little boy, brother who killed Terry, that was Ollie. Yep, we talked about that. The hoodie is just laying there on the rocks. El Cuco is in touch with Ralph's grief. I don't think that was a Cuco behind Ralph's vision. You might be right. Like I said, when that scene happened early in the season when Ralph saw his son, that could have just been, if there's an evil out there, there might be, a non-evil presence in his son kind of visiting him there. So if a Cuco made him, just reading. These are some really fantastic comments, guys. This is why, again, if you've seen my reviews, guys, you know that I always respond to your comments, and I love reading them because you guys are just makes me such a big fan of this show. Just reading you guys' comments. Easter eggs everywhere, and great tells. All right, so I think I'm pretty caught up to where you guys were at GTA style. Yeah. All right, cool. So go ahead and press play. As we see right now, for all those that are watching along with me, I'm going to press play at 34:40. Right now, it's showing the DA looking at that footage from Claude and Terry meeting that night at the strip club. So go ahead and press play.
Now he's Solomon is dead.
They're dead. Yeah, they're dead, bro.
One of your own. But he didn't act alone. In fact, he was compelled to kill by someone else. Wait, he had an accomplice? No, I'm saying Hoskins was the accomplice. The alpha who I believe killed Frankie Peterson. They're still out there. He attempted to grab another boy down here 2 nights ago. Got away, but I got him on video, so I'm gonna send you the link. Wait, hold on, just it's nobody's fault, okay? But I believe certain decisions coming out of your office need to be revisited.
So yeah, this is the moment where they're all coming up with their, their new story. Again, this is their idea of not getting the word out about El Cuco and ending this existence of El Cuco.
You want to tell me what happened, Chloe? I'm already told you. Well, I'd like to hear it again. Detective Sablow and
I think, as I mentioned in my review for the episode, I'm pretty satisfied with the conclusion to the Glory, the storyline that we got there. I thought there was going to be a little bit more to it. The daughter obviously saw El Cuco earlier on in the season. I thought they were going to play a little bit of a more of a pivotal role as the episodes and as the season kind of unfolded. They brought them in and out. We saw everything with the Glory and her job situation, Glory and the girls and them going to school. I know some people have alluded to, you can see right here, there's a scratch on Ralph's face, but I don't think that has anything to do with El Cuco scratching him. I think that's just effects of the the rocks collapsing. But like I said, I thought the Terry storyline was sufficient, a satisfying conclusion for that storyline. They cleared his name. She can go back to work, I would imagine. I believe she's probably gonna. I believe she'll probably still sue the DA's office for the unconvicted or the the ruling that they gave her husband and destroying their family. But
Well, how was it too long? Chloe, tell me about the phone call.
March 3rd through the 7th.
so again, this is just the scenes.
On my investigation, I encountered Mr. Cabbage, a former Dayton PD detective who had worked dozens of homicides over the years. I found him.
Even now, when Holly's talking to the police officers, she doesn't say Terry. She just says his last name.
Hired him as part of the team.
Again, going back to that who's Terry line. As we see them, Holly give her statement to the police officers. And she's obviously emotional at this moment for bringing Annie into the situation. By the way, this song they're playing is pretty awesome. I'm a big Radiohead fan. It kind of sounds like Radiohead. I don't know if it's Radiohead or not, but I love it.
So if we're gonna pull this off, Jimmy, there's something I need you to do.
All right, so as that scene kind of plays out, let me read some of these comments by your wonderful folks. If It Bleeds is the name of the book coming in May. It's connected to The Outsider. Okay, might have to check that out. I thought the cave was a weird place for him to end up actually set up clues like breadcrumbs, Brazil, and the building drops. What's going on, Brazil? Portuguese on us. Bring us... That's correction 4. Well, there's the Outsider story. Oh, where is he making a sequel to The Outsider? Stephen King? That'll be again, I haven't read the book, but I would again if they are making a season 2, I don't know if it's one of those situations with Game of Thrones where George R.R. Martin hadn't wrote the books yet. The show had passed the books and they had to write their own stories. If we get a season 2 before a potential sequel to The Outsider, how's that going to look? So, again, for all those that are book fans, let me know. Is there another book that follows up The Outsider? Is there talks of another book by Stephen King?
Anything that might sound supernatural. Otherwise, I can do that.
All right, as we kind of get to some of that post-credit scene here, I'm at 40:36. We got about 12 minutes left in this episode. Read off some of these comments again, guys. If you're in the chat now, if you haven't already, thumbs up to the video. It really helps out the channel, and I really appreciate it. Let's see here. In the book, there is a press conference for Terry. Okay. How's Claude Bolton not set up as he is on tape trying to kidnap the boy? Yeah, I think the whole Claude thing being the one that kidnapped the boy, they really can't make out his face, even though some people, the cops that came to Terry's or to Claude and Seal's house, childhood house, they said it could have been him, but they obviously, Ralph and everyone saying that, that wasn't him because, they have an alibi. He was there all night, so I think they're just going with the story that it was a lookalike. It was a Claude lookalike, and they don't have the identity of this person yet. So I think that's how they're gonna kind of play that angle. Apparently, the showrunner is already working on season 2. Yeah, that has been speculated. DG, that the season 2 is in the works by the writer of the show, which I am 100% down with that idea. And this is the scene when Glory finds out that her husband's going to be, they're going to reopen the case. But I thought, again, it was a satisfying ending for the Terry and his wife's family and the girls. Might as well be strange sense of humor. Yes, coming to May, there is a Ford collection that is story continuing to Holly. Okay, that's awesome. I'm gonna have to look into that again. I haven't read the book, but I'm gonna definitely look into that. Do you think it will happen in Kingverse? Holly is going to be his next book, or maybe a follow up. Her smile at the end was creepy. Yeah, we're gonna talk about that. That ending here in about 10 minutes.
Girls, I need you to go upstairs, please.
Yeah, EOG veteran brings up, keep in mind that Ralph's son is alive in the book. Yeah, that was I guess, a very interesting creative choice to have him die in the show, opposite of the book.
And to officially go on record.
Evidence breaks down. The DNA becomes unless an outsider is killed. What was the new evidence? Yeah, that accelerated Terry. Yeah, I think it was just a matter of them, going by Giannis and Ralph's story that the gentleman that, was attached to the murder of Frankie Peterson and, was the one that killed, Terry, the Frankie Peterson and not Terry. Which, come to think of it, really doesn't make a lot of sense, but again, the video footage, I think at this point, the cops are just like, we put this family through enough. But again, what I want to know is, what does that mean for Maria? What does that mean for Tracy? What does that mean for Heath? Are they going to be cleared? Are we going to forget about them? Or maybe, again, that's a potential thread or storyline for season 2.
About 10 hours, right?
I have a couple of spots I have to make along the way.
So I didn't catch this on first viewing. So I pressed pause, guys. 44:48 is where I'm at now. So this is where Holly's packing her bag, saying her goodbyes. And this is where Holly, I just noticed again for second viewing here for me personally, Holly, she's gonna drive to Chicago. She's not gonna take a plane. What Ralph says it's about a 10-hour drive, right? And she says, yeah, about 10 hours, but I have to make a couple stops on the way. Again, going back to that scene in the cave, she didn't get scratched because she had her long sleeves on. As I kind of press play on the scene here in a bit, you're going to notice that there's no scratches or marks on her arm as she's saying her goodbyes to Ralph. Are these other stops that she made before she went back home, is that where this potential scratch came from? Or, as I'm going to replay this scene here in a bit, was it the ghost of Jack that scratched her? Is it all made up? It's open-ended, but I love that. So, but I'm going to go ahead and press play again. I thought it was really interesting that she said she has a couple other stops to make before she goes home to Chicago. So, where are those other stops, Holly? Where'd you go? Are we going to find that out in season 2? Let's go ahead and press play.
I wouldn't mind teaming up again. The opportunity arose.
When I was in the caves, Kuko asked me why I was so open to believing in its existence. My father was ex-military, and when I was little, he would say, "A man knows a man."
But an outsider knows an outsider.
To have to think in that cave and the information to answer that thing, I would have said, an outsider knows an outsider.
And a lot of people speculating that outsider knows an outsider. Holly is a bit of an outsider. She believes in the supernatural. And I'm looking at the scene now, guys. I don't see any scratches or marks on her arm as she's hugging Ralph. And I think that was even intentional by the show writers and the creators. She's wearing a short sleeve. You're seeing her arms extended. There's no scratches at all. And as Ralph asks her what else is out there, she smiles. Kind of like someone mentioned in the comments, kind of a creepy smile. It's kind of in slow motion, too. I didn't even notice that. That was kind of weird. What else is out there? As she kind of creepily closes the door. Can you be much creepier, Holly? But no, again, I thought that was very intentional. They didn't show the scratches on her hands, on her arms, throughout that scene there. As we see Claude back home. That's interesting. They keep, I don't know, I'll have to watch this again. They keep showing these close-up of hands in these last few scenes. Again, let me rewind a little bit. So I'm rewinding at 46:53. Let me go ahead and rewind it to Claude. So if you guys are watching at home, I'm going to press play. I'm at 46:11. So we see Claude getting his bags out of his car. Well, I'm at 46:15 for those watching at home. And it kind of happened quick, but let me see if I can pause that. What I'm looking for now, guys, if you're wondering, is these sequences of hands being shown in the frame. And I don't know if it's me or it's Claude's hand. I'm trying to pause it. I'm at 46:20. He closes the door he closes the trunk, and I can't see. It's kind of blurry. I think he still has those tattoos on his fingers. I don't know if that has anything to do with anything, but I don't know. I don't know why the show keeps showing these shots of hands, these close-up of hands. Let me know in the comments if I'm just making it up or if there's some significance there. And then just right now, at 46:37, we got a picture of Ralph's hands getting up from her chair. Again, I don't know. I might just be looking into something that might not be there. As we see Ralph at his therapist. Has a lot to talk about, right? To his therapist. Okay. Well, there's one stop. What I imagine was someone at Andy's funeral. Yeah, I mean, yeah. So we see that there's a woman that picks up something that Holly held close to. I don't know who that woman is. I don't know if we ever will see that face of that woman. But that makes sense that there's one spot that she made a stop at, which was Andy's funeral. But was there any other places that she attended?
What did he say?
Very interesting.
Just check.
He said that I need to let her.
Let's see. Wait, who is that Andy's funeral? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Who was that female at Andy's funeral who picked up that little Lego figure that Holly left in his casket? Because as far as we know, I don't know if Andy mentioned an ex-wife, sibling, mother. It was definitely a woman, but I wonder who that woman was, if there's any significance there.
Or maybe after a few years pass.
Is that our El Cuco number 2?
We'll just go
Maybe.
with it.
Okay. I missed the end of Watch. Thanks, guys. I really love the series. They might be added to scene with Holly after they realize they want a season 2. Yeah, that's funny you mentioned that. Like a little post-credit scene, a la the MCU. They shoot their films, and sometimes they bring their actors in to do a post-credit scene to add it in to open up the door for season 2. What's that ritual Holly does at the end? Don't get yeah, I'm sorry. I have a very bad allergy. I don't have coronavirus, guys. I notice I've been coughing a lot, hence my water here. I'm in Missouri, and the weather the last couple of days, it's been like, it was like 62 degrees, then it was like raining and cold yesterday, and now it's like cold again. So whenever that happens, my allergies are like literally all over the place. So no coronavirus here, knock on wood. But I appreciate you noticing that. All right, the episode's wrapping up here. We're going to get that post-credit scene in the big, guys. Let me read some of these comments before I jump to it. Batman, yeah. Favorite comic book superhero. Or if you ask Robert Pattinson, not superhero, Batman. But no, he corrected himself after that. Did she go back to the cave? All right, let me press pause before we watch this post-credit scene. Read some of these comments here by you awesome, amazing people. Again, guys, if you're watching the chat, thumbs up on this video. Give it a like. I really appreciate it, guys. Thank you so much. All right. What's the ritual? Holly doesn't end. Ralph doesn't get a scratch on his arm. That's what I'm saying. She's lighting candles. She's left the doll in his casket. What's up with that? Claude Ralph. We put things in my aunt's class like that. Okay, gotcha. What is that thing? That doll figure? Was that just like a? I can't even remember. Did we see that in the previous episodes with Holly? Her carrying that particular doll figure? I don't recall. But no, definitely. I know a lot of people leave things in their lost their loved ones' caskets, a la pictures, a la things that were significant to them. But I don't remember the significance of that doll that Holly put in his casket. Let me know in the comments if she had that earlier in the season. And it might not be any significance at all. Some voodoo or something, I don't know. No, it's something of hers to give to him. Could Holly be looking in the mirror when she saw that scratch? We've seen her with dolls before. Okay, appreciate that, DJ. I don't remember that, but I definitely believe you, man. That we might have seen her before with dolls. Yeah, Holly has a couple little figures. When did Holly get scratched? El Cuco never touched. All right, Mr. Bobby asks. So that's the last comment that I can see in the chat here. So I'm gonna go ahead and press play. This is that post-credit scene that is in my thumbnail and has been highly speculated. So I'm looking at it now. Holly's washing her hands, and at least from my perspective, it looks like her left arm. There's no scratches there so far. So I'm going to go ahead and press play for all those that are watching at home. That's 49 minutes and 42 seconds in the episode. So she's washing her hands, which really good. You know, no corona for Holly. She's going to be good. She's hygienic, keeping her hands clean. So we're going to go ahead and press play. By the way, if you good thing to wash your hands. 20 seconds, guys. 20 seconds. As we see Holly breathing in, and this is where, okay, so we see the ghost-like projection of Jack. Holly turns around. Sinister music plays. She drops her mirror, looks under her neck. No, you're good. Okay, you're good. Okay. As she kind of, this is El Cuco, guys. He's in her head. As we all remember, episode 8, episode 7, when Jack kidnapped Holly. I pressed pause, by the way, at 50:17 for those that are watching along at home. If we remember, Holly had that dream at the end of that. I want to say it was episode 7, where Holly escapes Jack. Yeah, it's episode 7. And we saw she wakes up from her dream and she screams. And in that dream, she saw Jack killed her. I took that dream as El Cuco influencing Holly. He's attached to her. He feeds on grief. He feeds on fear. So that scene there was that alluding to El Cuco still being attached to her, in the form of Jack. So very, very important scene there, that the El Cuco's presence is still around, still alive. I'm going to go ahead and press play, guys. I am at 50:20 is where I'm at now. I'm going to go ahead and press play. So another thing that I've read in the comments that, again, you guys are fantastic bringing this up. So you guys have mentioned that Holly does not like to listen to music. I think she mentioned that pretty early on in the season as far as her likes and dislikes. And a lot of people have mentioned that she doesn't like music. So, and also the significance of this song that is playing, I can't think of the name of the song, but I believe this is the same song that Ralph was telling Holly about in episode 8, when they were going to the festival in Tennessee. The song when his son was alive or being born, and the song that he wanted to play for his mom that passed away. So I think, and remember, he asked Holly, "What's this? Is that something supernatural?" And she made the joke that it was just a coincidence. But now, coincidentally, that song is playing now. And like I said, a lot of you all have mentioned she hates music. She doesn't like music, which I've never met someone that doesn't like music, so I thought that was a bit odd anyway. But Holly definitely has her quirks and her uniqueness to her, so very different. So I'm gonna go ahead and press play, guys. So we see Holly on her computer typing in the Frankie Peterson investigation. She sees that Terry's name, who she didn't remember who Terry was. Which we talked about earlier in this live here, but she sees that he was free. So here's the scene, guys, as the DJ is talking about the song that's playing on radio, and you can see it now. Holly, for all those that are watching at home, I am at 50:51. If you notice on her arm, and it's in my thumbnail, she is indeed scratched. She has a scratch on her arm now. Again, from the previous scenes, from the cave, Holly wasn't scratched. She had long sleeves on. From her goodbye to Ralph, she has on short sleeves. There's no scratches on her arm. So that scratch had to come from this post-credit scene, from this particular scene. Because even, moments before that, again, they showed her washing her hands, and there seemed to be no scratches or anything there. So that vision, that dream, that nightmare, that projection definitely had to be the cause to that scratch there, guys. Season 2. Give me a season 2 right now. Announce at HBO. Hit me up, Richard Price. Let me know. Comment in the chat now if you're watching this, Richard Price. What's the deal? Are we gonna get a season 2? Are we gonna get an explanation of this scene here? So I'm gonna go ahead and press play, guys. And also, too, again, I've watched some amazing YouTubers out there. My buddy Austin Burke, who I've done a video with in the past, he did an ending explaining video and was talking about the significance of Holly's twirling her hair, and doesn't seem like a again, we saw Holly enough to kind of get her personality, to get her traits, to get, what she does on a normal basis. When she's nervous, she does that. When she's excited, she does that. The twirling of the hair is definitely something that we've never seen Holly do before. Earlier in the season, we were introduced to Holly. We saw her looking up the Maria case, the Terry case, or the Tracy case, the Heath case, and she was in a tub, and she didn't seem to be playing with her hair. She wasn't listening to music when she was doing that. So there's definitely something off with Holly. There's some influence from El Cuco. There's something that changed her to make her do things differently, listen to music, play with her hair. We'll go ahead and press play for all those that are watching at home. That is 50-57. So why don't go ahead and press play, guys. Yeah, I think that's the song that's playing now. Is the song that Ralph was talking to Holly about. It was the song that he, was going to play for his mother that passed away. It was a song that played on the radio when his son was born. So go ahead and press play. And you see the scratch again, front and center, guys. Now, I didn't notice this on the first watch. But while Holly is twirling her hair, it looks like it's almost in like reverse mode. Like the way she's twirling her hair is like not natural, and it's like reversed. Let me go back to 51. Yeah, it's weird. That's weird. Let me go back to that one more time, because I didn't notice that first watch, guys. The reverse shot like that, what looks like her hair was, her hand motion was in like reverse. Again, for those that are watching at home, 5108 is where I'm at. Just looking at that scene again of her. Very interesting. Yeah, everything, the whole scene was kind of like in like a reverse time loop type of situation. Huh. What does it mean? I don't know. You tell me, guys. You tell me. You guys are the smart ones out there. Huh. Again, I didn't notice at the first watch the way it was filmed of like her being in reverse, or the hair twirly being in reverse. That's weird. Huh. So guys, go ahead and turn this down. We don't have to watch the behind the scenes thing. Yeah, there you have it, guys. That was first time rewatching it since seeing it on Sunday, and yeah, like I said, the biggest things, within that finale, for me personally, as I said in my review, I like the way that the season kind of wrapped up. Obviously, there's a lot of unanswered questions. Again, as I had a mention in this video and in my review, what does that mean for the other victims that El Cuco has affected? Are their names going to be in the clear? And obviously, they didn't really investigate those other cases, Tracy, Heath and Maria, but I wonder if they're going to have some type of resolve to their storyline. Maybe not, but I would like to know personally. Other storylines that I thought was going to maybe be wrapped up or explain more. We have Terry and his grandfather or his dad, and he had that interesting line to Holly about they thought that was him the whole time. He seemed to be out of his, suffering from dementia or suffering from memory loss. Seems to be something a little bit off there, but there's something about that significance of the scene that he knows more than he's alluding to. We didn't get that addressed. But I think one of the bigger things, too, a couple big things. A lot of us want to know a little bit more of the origins of El Cuco. Want to know about his beginnings, where he comes from, how long he's even been doing this, why does he do this? Are there others out there? There's obviously that big question mark. But another big thing that I think that they intentionally left off the table was the new victim. The kid that was found brutally murdered in the same fashion as the Frankie Peterson. So a lot of stuff there, and obviously post-credit scene, Holly playing with her hair, listening to music, the scratch in her arm, the vision of Jack. For me personally, I think that if a season 2 is brought to our attention and brought to the forefront, I would hope those questions are answered. If we don't get a season 2, how will I feel about this as a whole? I'll be a little bit disappointed, but it doesn't take away the previous 9 episodes of the show, which I found to be very compelling, very well done as far as the acting, the directing, the cinematography, the score, the suspense elements, the supernatural elements, the Stephen King isms. As I had mentioned in my review, this is probably one of my favorite adaptations of a Stephen King book on television as well as movies. So I'm very, very happy with this show, and I'm very excited to see what comes of it in the coming weeks, coming months. If we do get an announcement for season 2, as we all kind of know, within for us that watch enough TV, it probably will be at least a year and a half, possibly 2 years before we hear any announcement or any trailers or an official season 2. But obviously we want more, and we want more now. But I'm personally interested in exploring a season 2, and if they do have a season 2, what does that look like? Do we see Holly having kind of her own type of show? Do we see her kind of the origins of Holly, learning more about this potential shining ability that I've alluded to and that this show has kind of presented to us, the glow factor? Do we learn more about, again, obviously the meaning of the ending there of Holly and the scratch and everything of that nature, and the outsider knowing an outsider? Are we going to see her looking for her potential duplicate? Are we going to see her looking for whoever scratched her is someone becoming her, somewhere? So there's a lot to explore there for season 2. And again, I would be 100% on board if they give us a season 2. So read some of these stuff in the chat here. But again, guys, let me know what your thoughts are for that moment that we saw Holly in the scratch and just overall thoughts, guys. Let me know what you thought of this season. Let me know. What does the season 2 look like for you? What would you want to see in season 2? Let me know in the comments, guys. All right, let's see where I left off at. Anyone surprised Annie had an open casket funeral? Yeah, that's a good point. Still, that you wouldn't think that they would have an open casket for someone that was their body was affected or they were killed in a fire. That's a very good point. She's passing it on to show her love and say goodbye. It meant a lot to her to show her love for him. Episode 2, Holly speaks. She doesn't listen to music. And after credits, she listens to me. Yeah, we brought that up. The twirling of the hair, a very significant moment there. And as we had mentioned, as you had mentioned there, she doesn't listen to music, and the song that was happened to be playing was the song that Ralph was talking about, that he played for his son's birth and played for his mother as she was passing away. So very significant moment there. He got barbecue. Yeah, he definitely did. That's a very good point that they had an open casket for Andy. Trying to just process that, if there's any significance there, and also, again, not breaking down every single moment, but who was that female character that was by his side or by his casket that picked up that doll that Holly left? You know, something to think about, for sure, for sure. The music's not in her room. Yeah, no, the music was in the room because it was a radio station playing, and you know, the DJ at the time was saying, you know, the number one hit in 1963. I can't think of the song, but yeah, that was definitely music that was playing in the room. Just thought about that plot hole. She scratched her right arm, though. I don't remember seeing her scratch her arm. We're hearing that music, but moving in reverse. In the book, both she and Ralph had horrible nightmares after. Yeah, was that a nightmare of Holly? I mean, she sees Jack, but, you know, was that a nightmare? We need to know what she knows. There's no coincidence. PTSD will bring horrible nightmares, trust me. Impossible. Everyone loves some kid. Ralph never gets it. Washington Square. She's not listening to it. It's plain because there's a sign from the universe. There's no coincidence. But she says a coincidence, and Ralph said no. Watch the swirl of her hair. Yeah, that swirl of her hair is definitely, you know, intentional by the creators. You know, that no one motions like that, so that's definitely intentional. But it's in reverse just because she's trying to have, teasing him. She knows it's a coincidence. It's reverse. Twirling, I dig it. I need you to know how much your friendship has meant to me. If I do die and you choose to continue what I've started, please be careful. You have a wife and son. I assume that this is lines from the book that we're reading here. Ralph never gets it. Couldn't have been done in the post. Some movies do that for no reason. I got a gold medal. She's thinking about it best way. Her twirling in her hair is filmed in reverse. Definitely a little lost. I agree with you there. Also, that's not her radio. Okay, could be. We've seen the radio before. Holly Ware. Heidi Ware. I think it's Seals. Okay. I'm trying to remember. We're probably reaching it, but who knows? Yeah. Who was the new victim? Yeah, I mentioned that. The new pictures. That's definitely a storyline for season 2. Terry had a creepy dad. That's maybe why Glory couldn't believe her husband could be creepy. We need season 2. Yeah, really great comments, guys. So I'm definitely going to watch more of your videos. Yeah, I appreciate it, man. Such a great season. HBO needs to do more Stephen King. I agree. In HBO, I trust when it comes to after this adaptation of Stephen King novel. I would definitely be excited for another Stephen King adaptation being brought to HBO. Also, another network of mine that I'm a favorite of, or network that I'm a fan of, is FX. I would really love them to explore that, and we obviously know Hulu had their Stephen King adaptation with Castle Rock, or not adaptation. That was just kind of an original. They took a bunch of Stephen King universe things and kind of put it in a show in Castle Rock, which I reviewed season 2 on this very channel. So yeah, guys, final thoughts here. I'm gonna wrap up here in a little bit. Again, I really appreciate it, guys. Everyone that's been in the chat, that's been watching my reviews, that has been supporting this channel, that have subscribed, have liked the videos, commented, shared the videos. I really can't thank you enough. It means a lot to me that you guys tuned in every Sunday night to watch my review, or watch it the day after, or just came about my channel a couple days ago. I really appreciate it, guys. It means a lot to me. I will be continuing to review things. This is a channel that reviews a lot of content. My next review, for my movie fans out there, I have an early screening for the new Vin Diesel film, Bloodshot. I will be seeing that tomorrow. I will be seeing The Hunt on Thursday. And then as far as other TV shows, I am watching Devs, which I think is a fantastic show right now on Hulu as well as FX. It's a sci-fi thriller drama created by Alex Garland. You guys might know him from Ex Machina, Annihilation, the writer of 28 Days, 28 Weeks Later. Fantastic show. So if you're wondering what I'm watching now, check that out. I will be reviewing that on a weekly basis. And then in the coming weeks, we have Ozark Season 3, which I'm very excited for. We'll be watching that. And then as far as other content, obviously we got big releases coming out for Mulan, things of that nature. Westworld, I do not watch Westworld. Unfortunately, I just never got into it. I'm a big sci-fi guy, as I've mentioned on my channel before, but I just couldn't get into Westworld for whatever reason. Just didn't resonate with me. But one day I might give it a rewatch and try to get into it, but I won't be reviewing Westworld just because I'm the type of person that I have to watch the previous seasons to kind of, get on board with what's going on now. So unfortunately, there will be no reviews for Westworld, but for all those Westworld fans out there, I hope they have a really good season 3 and you guys are excited for that. HBO always kind of packs their schedule with Outsiders done now, Westworld, and I believe in May there's going to be a couple shows coming out this summer that I'm excited for on HBO. A couple dramas by Nicole Kidman. There's a new show with Mark Ruffalo that I'm excited for. So there's a lot of stuff coming out on HBO that I'm excited for. But I would love another type of a la Outsider show to be on HBO here sooner rather than later. So again, guys, I'm going to wrap this up here for the last few people that has been on this chat. I think we have 22 people in the chat now. And for everyone that tuned in, that stopped by, can't thank you all enough. This has been such a cool and fun and humbling experience to be able to do these reviews and to have you guys tune into the reviews and just show as much love as you did on those reviews, from liking, commenting, sharing, subscribing to this channel. It means the world to me, guys. I truly do mean that. My channel, as I mentioned maybe earlier in my review or earlier in this video, I'm not monetized. My channel is not monetized. As I bring up the Batman stuff, I just brought up Batman. So this channel is demonetized. So I don't do this for money. I do this for you guys. Again, I'm a big fan of movies, TV shows, and stuff like that. So I do this to have these type of conversations with you all. And I can't thank you all enough for supporting this channel. So I'm going to call it a wraps, guys. Again, if you're wondering what I'm doing next, review for Bloodshot tomorrow. Review for The Hunt on Thursday. Review for the latest episode of Devs on Thursday night or maybe Friday morning. And then from there, I got to find something to watch on Sunday. Again, I don't have cable, so I'm not watching Better Call Saul season 5, I believe they're on. I'm like 3 seasons behind. I'm not watching Westworld, so I'm going to find something on Sundays to do. So let me know what I should be watching. So again, guys, thank you for the support. Hope you guys check out my other content that will be on the channel this week. And then, like I said, in the coming weeks, we got Mulan. We have Ozark Season 3 and, of course, trailer reactions that I do on this channel. I do giveaways on this channel as well. So, Star Wars Rise of Skywalker, I'll probably be doing a giveaway for that, 1917, and some other things. So if you haven't already, follow me on all my social media accounts, Twitter and Instagram. I'm very active on those platforms, especially Instagram. If you want to know my thoughts on certain movie news, breaking news, talk about that on my Instagram. So definitely check me out there if you guys aren't already. And then again, if you haven't, subscribe, like this video, share this video. If you're watching this on replay, comment below. And again, I appreciate all the support, guys. I'm going to go ahead and call it a night and appreciate everyone that tuned in. Movie Files out.